Thanks for clicking the video. In this vlog, I'm exploring the beautiful island of St. Maarten. This small Caribbean island is half French and half Dutch, containing incredible culture, stunning beaches, and amazing food. I came to St. Maarten to celebrate my 27th birthday, making this another solo adventure in the books. I spent 9 days on the island, and this vlog covers my experience. If you like this content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace! Alright, so just picked up the rental car. If you're visiting St. Maarten's, it's highly recommended to rent a car because it's the easiest way to get around. St. Maarten's isn't a large island, it's 37 square miles, but there's still a ton of cool areas to explore. I booked my trip through Capital One Travel, so I'm renting through Alamo. This is actually my first time ever renting a car, so fingers crossed nothing goes wrong. Okay, so now I need to head over to the hotel to check in. Yep, so I made it to my hotel room. I'm staying at the Adonis Cupecoy, located on the Dutch side. I chose this hotel because of its price. I'm paying $73 a night, which is super cheap. This hotel didn't have the best reviews, but that didn't really bother me considering this is a 2-star hotel and I'm paying $73 a night. My expectations are pretty low. Throughout my trip, I don't plan on being in the room too often. And yeah, so far haven't had any complaints. The check-in process went pretty smoothly. The hotel's pretty modern, and there's free parking, which is very convenient. Some cons so far are you only get 2 rolls of toilet paper and 1 towel. So let me flip it over and do a quick room tour. Alright, so I'm here at Friar's Bay Beach, which is located on the French side. I don't plan on spending too much time at this beach because I want to use the hiking trail to get to Happy Bay Beach. Happy Bay is 10 minutes north of Friar's Bay, and because it's hard to get to, it's known for being quiet, relaxing, and beautiful. So let's go knock out this hike. So just finished my hike to Happy Bay. That was easily like a 10 to 15 minute walking trail from Friar's Bay. It's like 7:30ish in the morning right now, so there's not, I think I see only one other person, but yeah, this beach is really quiet, really beautiful, and yeah, I'm just about to walk around and take it all in. So I'm at Happy Bay Beach, and it's probably my favorite beach in St. Maarten. The waves are really nice for swimming, and it's not too crowded, but that's partially due to it's being hard to get to. We got some catamarans behind me, and there were some jet skiers here earlier, but they left. On my first night in St. Maarten, I was fatigued from traveling, so I wanted to get dinner somewhere close to my hotel in Cupecoy, so I ended up eating at Yami Sushi. This restaurant is located right across the street from Fat Tony's, and I was able to walk here from my hotel. For my drink, I ordered brown sugar boba tea, and for my meal, I ordered 2 plates of sushi. The food was excellent and was pleasantly affordable. If you're looking for good sushi at an affordable price, I highly recommend checking out Yami Sushi. Chez Fernand La French Bakery is located in Marigot. From what I saw on my trip, Marigot has 2 French bakeries. Apart from Chez, there's also Lee Express, which is a 5-minute walk down the street. In my opinion, Chez is the better option between the two because there's a way larger selection of food. I would say Chez's menu is 10 times bigger than Lee Express. I got breakfast at Chez 3 or 4 times. I really liked the salmon avocado sandwich, and I pretty much always got a chocolate almond croissant and a coffee anytime I went to a French bakery. They have a really nice seating area, but there's a ton of mosquitoes. Every time I dined in, I got a ton of bug bites. This bakery is located in the marina, so anytime you're near a body of water, you can expect to encounter mosquitoes. Overall, I really like Chez, and I highly recommend coming here if you're looking for a French bakery. I'm at Orient Beach, which is one of the most iconic beaches at St. Martin. It's also one of the largest nudist destinations in the Caribbean as well. There used to be a really famous nudist resort here called Club Orient, but unfortunately that got destroyed by Hurricane Irma in 2017. If you come to Orient Beach, you can still see the remains of Club Orient. They never got around to tearing it down or rebuilding it. The beach is pretty large. Only a small portion of it is clothing optional. The rest is considered normal. I spent the day mostly on the nude side and it was pretty relaxing. I got a beach rental for $30. The weather was great and the waves are pretty calm, making it ideal for swimming. I highly recommend going to Orient Beach if you're visiting St. Martin. During one of my trips to Orient Beach, I ended up getting lunch at a beach bar called Orange Fever. Orient Beach has a ton of different restaurants and bars along its beachfront. I chose this spot at random. I believe this particular beach bar is French owned. The workers were very friendly and the food was okay. I ordered their Go-Go burger, which consists of chicken breasts, Gouda cheese, cucumber, and guacamole. The food took longer than I would have liked, but it tasted pretty good, so it made up for the long wait time. If you want my personal recommendation on food and you're at Orient Beach, I would recommend driving 3.5 miles to Grand Cas and eat at the Lolos. The food at the Lolos tops everything in this area and it's such a bargain. Later in this video, I go over my experience at the Lolos. Pineapple Pete's is a restaurant located in Simpson Bay. I came here for dinner and it was a great experience. When I was planning for my trip, I saw a lot of recommendations for this restaurant, so I decided to give this place a shot. After eating here, I can see why this place is highly recommended. The food's really good, the prices didn't break the bank, and I really like the vibes at this place. For my meal, I ordered a margarita, French onion soup, and coconut shrimp, and the food was delicious. I was debating whether or not to try the highly recommended lobster thermidor, but I was scared I wouldn't like it because I've never eaten lobster before. I think the market price at the time was $53, which isn't bad for lobster. In hindsight, it ended up working out because I had my first lobster experience the next night at Skipjack's, and it was an excellent experience. More on that later in the vlog. For entertainment, Pineapple Pete's has live music, and in the back room, they have an arcade and pool tables. If you're in the Simpson Bay area and looking for food options, I highly recommend checking out Pineapple Pete's. Alright, so I'm at La Sucriere, which is a French bakery located in Simpson Bay. I saw this place featured all over Instagram, so I had to add it to my list of places to try. They're known for their waterfront views, delicious pastries, and iguanas. Let's go check it out. La Sucriere was my favorite French bakery on the island. I ate breakfast here several times. My favorite things to order were the ham and cheese croissant and the chocolate almond croissant. If you're visiting St. Maarten, I highly recommend checking out La Sucriere. So I'm in Philipsburg, which is the capital of the Dutch side. Here we have Front Street, Great Bay Beach, and the boardwalk. So I'm gonna go check it all out. Really liking this mural behind me as well. Philipsburg is the touristy area of St. Martin. The boardwalk is where the water taxis bring in all of the cruise ship passengers. During my trip, I saw 4 very large cruise ships docked at the port. The boardwalk has the beach, a bunch of different bars and restaurants, chair rentals, water sports, and there's also a ton of vendors trying to sell things like island tours, excursions, and souvenirs. Front Street was also pretty cool. There were a lot of different stores. They had big names like Ralph Lauren, Michael Kors, and Armani, and they also had a bunch of small mom and pop like souvenir shops. Shopping in St. Martin is duty-free, so the Europeans are known for going big on jewelry and luxury items when shopping here. In my experience, the US dollar is pretty much accepted everywhere on the island, so if you're coming from the States, you don't have to worry about getting different currency. Overall, I really enjoyed my time in Philipsburg and definitely recommend checking it out if you're visiting St. Martin. Skipjack's is probably one of the most popular restaurants on the island. This restaurant is located in Simpson Bay, and they're famous for their seafood. It's a bit pricey, but the food is worth it. I've always wanted to try lobster, which is why I chose this place. During my visit, the market price was $26 per pound. This restaurant has waterfront views, but you can't really see much at night. They didn't have any open tables when I got there, so I ended up sitting at the bar, which was okay because they had TVs. In the middle of the restaurant, they have a large tank with all of the lobsters. They let you pick out the lobster, and they also let you hold it for a picture. Since I never had lobster before, I just asked for the smallest one, just in case I didn't like it. After I made my request, the worker comes back with a massive 3-pound lobster to confirm if I was okay with it. It was larger than I expected, but I took it anyways. It ended up working out well. Overall, I rate my experience 10 out of 10. The food here is absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I chose Skipjack's for my first lobster experience. It did not disappoint. This was hands down the best meal of my entire trip. If you're visiting St. Maarten, Skipjack's is a place you have to visit. Lee Express is the only other French bakery I saw in Marigot aside from Chez. It has 2 floors. The ground floor is where you order food, and the second floor has an eating area and a bathroom. The second floor is pretty cool because you can eat on the balcony while enjoying views of Marigot. The food was pretty good, but the selection is disappointingly small. If you're visiting Marigot and looking for a French bakery, I would recommend Chez over Lee Express due to the small selection of food options. So I'm at Lee Express Bakery, located in Marigot. I got a coffee, panini, and an almond croissant. And the views from the second floor are pretty cool. Let's switch it over. I'm at the entrance of Fort St. Louis, which is the largest historical monument in St. Martin. It was built by the French in 1789 to protect Marigot from invaders. From the top, you can see the remnants of the stone walls and the cannons. There's also incredible views of Marigot, Simpson Bay, and Anguilla. I'm gonna flip it around and start the hike now. Alright, so I'm in Marigot, which is the capital of the French side. Marigot is known for its open-air markets, Fort St. Louis, and the scenic harbor. Something important I learned is that you can negotiate the prices with the vendors, so don't feel obligated to always pay the asking price. I'm looking for a cool souvenir to bring home, so let's go check out the market. The Marigot market was a pretty cool experience. They had all sorts of things to buy. There was clothing, bags, souvenirs, jewelry, you name it. I got there around 8 o'clock in the morning, so a bit on the early side, which is why you can still see some of the vendors setting up their stands. They typically open at 8 a.m. and close around 4 p.m. I ended up buying a Dutch license plate, a hand-painted plate which had a map of the island, and a couple of t-shirts. Like everywhere on the island, the US dollar is welcomed here, so if you're coming from the States, you don't have to worry about bringing different currency. Baie Rouge is a beautiful beach located on the French side. It's very long in length. The beach is pretty easy to get to, but the entrance can be a little tricky to find. The small road leading to the entrance doesn't have any signage indicating that this is the beach entrance. On my first attempt to get to this beach, I accidentally passed the entrance because I wasn't sure where to turn in. Also, just a heads up, the parking lot is horribly maintained. I had concerns pulling in because there were some pretty big potholes and the road was super uneven. I didn't want to damage my rental car, so I drove super slow to get in and out. The beach itself is super nice though. There's a beautifully colored mural at the entrance and there's a ton of space at this beach. If you're visiting Baie Rouge, my only other recommendation is to make sure you bring bug spray because I got eaten alive by the mosquitoes. So I've been chilling here at Baie Rouge Beach for a little bit, and I really like this beach. I really love the sand. It's super soft to walk on. The beach is pretty big, and it's really quiet and relaxing. I'm kind of surprised how not crowded this beach is, or how good it is. You would think this beach there'd be more people, but looking around, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock right now, and I only see like 10 to 15 people, which isn't a lot for St. Martin's. I'm here during busy season and the traffic is just insane. There's so many people visiting at this time period, but it kind of makes sense because December time, people are trying to escape the cold weather. But yeah, let me pan the camera out and show you what it looks like. Baie Longue is the cousin of Baie Rouge. This beach is large, beautiful, and private. To get to Baie Longue, you have to go through a gated community. Out of all the beaches I visited in St. Maarten, Baie Longue had the least amount of people. Along the beach, there's a bunch of mansions and luxury villas, giving this beach more of an upscale vibe. This beach is perfect for people who enjoy privacy and like to take nice long walks. Alright, so I'm here at Baie Longue, also known as Longue Beach, which is on the French side. As the name implies, this is the longest beach in St. Maarten, spanning 1 mile in length. I don't think too many people know about this beach because in order to get here, you have to go through a gated community. With the beach being so big and with so few people here, it's like having the whole beach to yourself. So if you like quiet and relaxing, I recommend visiting Baie Longue. Alright, check it out. La Villa is an upscale French restaurant located in Grand Case. Since the island is half French, I wanted to make sure I tried authentic French cuisine for my trip, which is how I ended up choosing this restaurant. I thought the prices were fairly reasonable because you get your money's worth in terms of quality and quantity. I went with the fixed menu special where you choose an appetizer, entree, and dessert. This allows you to get a full course meal at a fixed rate of 59 euros. For my drink, I got their signature La Villa Fizz, which is vodka, orange juice with strawberry syrup. This was not included in the fixed price special. For the appetizer, I ordered the pan-seared duck foie gras. For the entree, I ordered the rack of lamb. And for dessert, I ordered the red berries pavlova raspberry sorbet. Across the board, the food was excellent, and I was very happy that I was able to try authentic French food. I do have a few additional recommendations if you decide to go to La Villa. My first recommendation is to not wear long sleeves. This building is in an open air restaurant, so there isn't any air conditioning. I was there at night in December and I felt pretty hot even though I was wearing shorts. My second recommendation is to make a reservation. I recommend doing this if you're visiting any restaurant in Grand Case aside from the Lolos. Grand Case is crazy busy at night, so restaurant availability can be slim. This leads me to my third recommendation, which is to make sure you give yourself an extra 30 minutes of commuting time when going to Grand Case because parking is a nightmare. Grand Case has two very small parking lots which fill up fast. I literally circled the lots 4 to 5 times trying to see if someone left, but was unsuccessful. I ended up having to make my own parking spot on the street. Not sure how legal that was, but it was the only option I had. Overall, my experience at La Villa was excellent, and I highly recommend it to anyone looking for high-quality French cuisine. Grand Case is a small beachfront town located on the French side. Grand Case is famous for its French restaurants, Lolos, which are essentially local barbecue spots, and fresh seafood. I really enjoyed my time here. There's beautiful views of the beach, many cute little shops, an abundance of high quality restaurants, and it's also a great place to watch the sunset. Grand Case hosts Grand Case Mardi Gras, which is a reoccurring street festival held weekly from January to March. This is basically a street parade where there's performers, live music, food and drinks, an arts and crafts market, and fireworks. I didn't get to experience this event since I went in December, but I did see some videos on Facebook and it looked like a lot of fun. My favorite thing about Grand Case is definitely the Lolos. The food is so good and the prices are so cheap. It was easily one of my favorite spots to get food on the island, which is why I kept coming back. I've been to Grand Case during the day and at night, and based on my experience, Grand Case is a lot busier at night. Grand Case isn't difficult to get to if you have a car. There's 2 public parking lots and also I saw a paid private parking lot. At night, the parking lots fill up fast, so if you're coming here at night, I recommend going early to avoid the parking hassle. Overall, I really enjoyed my time at Grand Case, and I highly recommend adding this place to your itinerary if you're visiting St. Maarten. So I'm at Cynthia's Talk of the Town, which is a Lolo in Grand Casse, which is of course on the French side. A Lolo is essentially an open air food stand, which can be found on the sides of the road. They grill like barbecue, meats, and seafood. They're actually grilling the food just right next to me, and the food just looks delicious. The prices were really good, and I'm just excited for the food to come out. Got my rum punch right here. And then we got waterfront views right there. Alright, the food just arrived, so we got the Creole shrimp and then the ribs. Oh, it smells so good. This is a Johnny cake and fried plantains. Alright, it's around 5 o'clock and I was close to Grand Casse, so probably gonna go get some dinner at a Lolo's. The only thing that I don't like about Grand Casse is that the parking situation's always pretty rough. The regular parking lot's right over there, and the lot's always filled no matter what time you go, so I had to kind of make my own parking spot here at the basketball court. Basketball court, it's my rental car. And there's people just making spots like right here, which is kind of funny. As long as they don't block me in, I should be good. All right, let's go grab some dinner. All right, so I got the chicken, ribs, mac and cheese, fried plantain, and then a rum punch. And this looks delicious. So I'm heading to Cupecoy Beach. I parked on Rhine Road in front of this Blue Mall building. There's a pathway. It kind of looks a little sketchy, but it should take you to the beach. So yeah, I believe it's that one right there. Cupecoy Beach has 3 different beaches, so I'm gonna check them all out. You can also park at Danny's Beach Bar, but he charges like $5 to park there, but I wouldn't recommend it because there's free parking like right here. So let's go check it out. So I made it to Cupecoy Beach, and just like all the other beaches in St. Maarten, this beach is beautiful. I don't think there's such thing as a bad beach here in St. Maarten. The waves are pretty strong, but it's okay to go in and dip your toes to cool off. I'm here at like 10 in the morning, and there's only like 3 other people at this beach. But check it out. So I found the hidden caverns in Cupecoy, and having it to myself basically is pretty nice. Pollos Hermanos is a fast food chain only available in St. Martin. They have 2 locations, one in Simpson Bay and another in Philipsburg. I went to the Simpson Bay location. As the name implies, this place is obviously known for its chicken. They probably stole the name from the famous TV show Breaking Bad. In the show, one of the characters owned a fast food chain called Pollos Hermanos. I learned about this place from a YouTube video, and the food looked really good, so decided to make this my dinner plan. I ordered the cookies and cream shake, 10-piece wings, and a Simpson Bay burger. There were a few communication errors with this order, but it wasn't a big deal. I requested the chicken to be crispy, but they gave me grilled. It wasn't a big deal though, because the food was still delicious. My original plan was to take my food to go, but I was so hungry I just ended up eating it at the restaurant. I really like the food at Pollos Hermanos. It's pretty similar to Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. This restaurant is a pretty cool place to visit because you can't find it outside of St. Martin. So I'm at Mullet Bay Beach, which is on the Dutch side, and I'm pleasantly surprised with how nice this beach is. I had some concerns because when I pulled up to the lot, there were a lot of cars, but this beach is big enough to contain this many people and spread them out. The sand is super soft and the waves are really calm for swimming. Don't sleep on Mullet Bay if you're visiting St. Maarten. Bamboo House is an upscale restaurant located in Bay. The dining experience is pretty cool because the restaurant is located on the top of a mountain, so you can get great views of Simpson Bay. This restaurant is very popular because when I searched for St. Maarten restaurant recommendations, Bamboo House kept coming up. Out of all the restaurants I've been to at St. Maarten, Bamboo House had the coolest dining experience. I really like the outdoor seating that overlooked the island, unique architecture, and chill vibes. The menu is Asian themed, and they're known for their steaks, sushi, and cocktails. For my drink, I ordered a smoked margarita, and for my meal, I ordered 2 plates of sushi. The food was excellent, and the dining experience was incredible. If you're looking for a fancy upscale dining experience, then I highly recommend checking out Bamboo House. Also, pro tip, if you're heading to Bamboo House, don't follow the GPS to get to the restaurant. The road that leads to the entrance is a narrow one-way street, and there isn't any parking at the top of the mountain. I recommend parking at the grocery store lot across the street. There's a courtesy shuttle available to take you directly to the restaurant. Alright, so I'm here at the entrance of the Devil's Cupper hiking trail. Devil's Cupper is known for its natural pools. There's two entrances you can use to get here. The first one is the Point Blanche entrance, and then the second one is the Guana Bay entrance. I'm here at Point Blanche because the hike is significantly shorter and easier. The Guana Bay one is a little more difficult, and it's a lot longer. One of my recommendations when coming to the Point Blanche entrance is do not follow the GPS. The GPS will take you to some dead-end road all the way at the top of the mountain, and those roads are really scary. Not sure how well you can see it, but it's that like white building up there. You can't, it's kind of hard to see, but it's like a single thin road, and the roads are like super scary. Just look for, if you're plugging in GPS, just plug in Gullen Road and look for the basketball court, and you'll find this trail. It's pretty easy, but yeah, let's go knock out this hike. So I completed my hike to the natural pools from the Point Blanche location, and honestly the hike wasn't so bad. I must say there was one scary portion in the beginning. It was really close to like the rocks, and the trail was like really narrow, so I looked down and I kind of froze for a bit. I honestly contemplated on turning around, but ultimately convinced myself to just kind of push through it and not look down. But yeah, it's a little hot here, so probably gonna dip in the pool a bit and yeah, find some shade. But these sights are just incredible. right, I made it to the natural pools, and everything here is just so beautiful. There were 3 ladies here before me, but they just left, so now I have the place all to myself. Oh, the water feels so good, and the scenery is just amazing. And I see a big iguana. I wonder how close I can get to it. Avantika is a Thai restaurant located in Simpson Bay. This place had good reviews, and I love Thai food, so decided to make this my dinner plan for the night. They're located on the 2nd floor of a mall, and it's pretty easy to get there. There's a ton of parking spots in front of the building, so that's one less thing to worry about. They have indoor and outdoor seating. I opted for indoor seating because it was kinda hot outside. For my drink, I ordered a strawberry daiquiri. For my meal, I ordered a pad thai chicken, and for dessert, I ordered the mango sticky rice. The food was delicious, and the best part was that it didn't break the bank. If you're looking for good Thai food, then I highly recommend stopping by Avantika. Maho Beach is the most popular tourist attraction in St. Martin. When people think of St. Martin, the first thing that comes to mind is the airplane beach. Maho Beach is located at the edge of the airport, so it's a great place to watch the planes arrive and depart. By coming to Maho Beach, you can get some pretty cool pictures and videos of the planes landing right over your head. Another popular activity is hanging onto the fence and experiencing the jet blast. This is kinda stupid and dangerous because you can get thrown pretty far. I don't think people realize how strong a jet blast is. Some lady actually died in 2017 because she hit her head on the concrete, but that doesn't seem to deter people from participating in this activity. Overall, I really enjoyed my time at Maho Beach. I only stayed for like 45 minutes, and I was able to get a ton of good footage of the planes. I got to see big jumbo jets carrying hundreds of passengers and little passenger planes which are used for domestic travel in the Caribbean. I went around 1 o'clock in the afternoon because that's the most popular time for planes to land. It was pretty busy, which is expected because it's a very popular tourist attraction. I noticed that a lot of the tourists were cruise line passengers. To get to Maho Beach, I just parked at the free parking lot in Maho Village and walked to the beach. The parking lot always has open spots and the walk isn't too bad. It's like a 5-minute walk. Since Maho Beach is so unique and iconic, I highly recommend coming here at least once if you're visiting St. Martin. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. This pretty much sums up everything I did in St. Martin. I had a great experience on the island, and I really enjoyed relaxing on the beautiful beaches, getting fresh pastries at the French bakery, eating delicious barbecue at the Lolos, and exploring both parts of the island. St. Martin is incredible, and I honestly don't have anything negative to say about it. I went in December, which is the start of the busy season, and the weather was perfect. Every day was mid to low 80s, and there was plenty of sun. There were a decent amount of tourists when I went, but that didn't really have an impact on my experience. In my opinion, I do consider the island very safe. As a solo traveler, I didn't encounter a single scenario where I felt unsafe. But with that being said, please remember to be aware of your surroundings and use your best judgment, as crime can happen anywhere in the world. Overall, St. Martin is a great spot for a vacation, and I highly recommend it to anyone wanting to go to the Caribbean. That's all for the video, and thanks for watching.